government has made efforts to tackle the energy crisis in the country by appointing Dr Kgosientso Ramokgopa as the electricity minister. The portfolio is meant to curb the rolling blackouts over the next 2 years. Let's chat now to Numsa, one of the biggest unions at Eskom, to get their views on the latest developments. And importantly, staff morale. What's that like at the utility? We speak to Irvin Jim, Numsa General Secretary, who joins us on the line. Mr. Jim, thank you very much for your time. How would you describe staff morale at Eskom?
Well, Xoli, thank you very much. I must say that generally, for all workers in this country today, workers are completely under siege. As I'm talking to you, I'm going to Max Steel. Workers are facing a threat of being massively dismissed by the company as a result of dispute that arises out of load shedding. Eskom workers are permanently under siege, under attack. They are presented as thieves by this government as a result of shenanigans that takes place around power stations where they work. So obviously, we dealing with the workforce that is in a state of a very low morale. And unfortunately, where you would have expected decisive action on the side of government to arrest this rolling blackout, it has not been our experience.
Yeah.
For instance, it's one thing to talk about the new Minister of Electricity. Eskom has no GCO who's supposed to be running the affairs. We have made a call for some time now since this rolling blackout got out of hand that Andre should have been released immediately and the competent engineer should have been given a task of making sure that it worked with us. And we do not play around problems. I mean, you would know that our position has never been the one that agreed that there was a need to appoint the Minister of Electricity. It has been done, and however, the question is going to be both the new GCO who's needed urgently and the Minister of Electricity, vis-a-vis the experience we have from both ministers, Mandash and Pravin Gordhan. Are we going to deal with the elephant in the room? And that elephant in the room is to have a single focus to quality maintenance of power stations.
Yeah.
That's what will stop this rolling blackout, nothing else.
Mr. Jim, I'm going to have to hurry us up, the two of us here, because time is against us and you obviously have to rush off as well. It's interesting that you say staff morale is low at Eskom, because one of the Eskom board members, Mteto Nyati, made it clear that staff, the prioritizing of staff at Eskom, whether it be raising their salaries or giving them promotions, is one of those 5 top priorities, and therefore that is going to be central to them turning around the situation around these power plants. Are you saying that with that, still morale of the staff is low?
Well, you would appreciate that Eskom workers have got their focus jobs. They have never stopped working. But when government takes a decision to discontinue coal in the manner in which it is being done, and we all get fooled that there is some seriousness about delivering quality maintenance of power stations, these workers become the victim of being presented as people who are doing sabotage and everything else. And I think the point I'm simply making is that you would know that this question of maintenance of power stations is not in the hands of Eskom workers. It is in the hands, it has been outsourced. And secondly, in relation to Eskom management, led by Andre, deciding to discontinue units that are critical to the grid, these workers have no decision to make around that. But when the blame is apportioned, it is apportioned to all Eskom workers as if they are directly involved. And when these workers detail what needs to be done, which I think you would appreciate now that we're going to court on the 20th. One of the things we did has been to detail what needs to be done to realize quality maintenance of power stations. But to date, we have never come across with serious leadership that want to deliver that quality maintenance.
Yeah. Tomorrow, and I'm happy to announce this because we have confirmed it, I will be talking to the Eskom board chairperson. What do you think are some of the workers' key questions or key concerns that they should worry themselves about? Because remember, the workers are central to these power stations functioning as well as they should.
Well, if you work for Eskom today, I don't know whether it's only me which is this contradiction. Those workers had overnight management that turned against the institution, management and the board that would have called for competitors of Eskom to self-generate electricity. I think that Eskom must continue to be seen as a strategic asset if we're to get out of this load shedding. There is no shortcut to just transition. We need Eskom to continue to deliver quality maintenance of power stations. At the back of us getting 75% energy availability factor, we can then be rest assured that we will have reliability of supply when it comes to electricity. And that's what should be the focus of the new chair and the new board, if they are serious about stopping the current rolling blackout.
Mr. Jim, let me quickly sway your attention to something that has come up recently, and I wonder if indeed it is true. Have you given the General Secretary of SAFTU, that's the Federation now, Xoli Mngambi, a deadline of today to justify why he should be kept as General Secretary of SAFTU? What are the reasons behind that? Otherwise, he's going to be recalled.
One of the tasks we have in running the formations we're running that we don't own and control, that we have got the privilege of being in their position, is not to weaken those formations. It is to strengthen them. And therefore, matters of the nature you're dealing with, currently they are being handled internally in Numsa, internally in SAFTU. I have no liberty to engage in this particular question. We have, of course, we're clear about what you're saying, but we have not gone up to the public. If it is in the public, it is because some notorious people are doing it.
All right, but there is confirmation that Mr. Mngambi is facing the possibility of being recalled as General Secretary of SAFTU.
I'm not entertaining this discussion.
Irvin Jim, thank you very much for your time.